Welcome just outside of Sacramento, California. It's our SuperMotocross Insider post-race show from the Carson City Motorsports Hangtown Motocross Classic Round 2 Pro Motocross Championship for 2023. All part of the all-new SuperMotocross World Championship. Become an SMX Insider with us, Jason Wygant, James Stewart, Jason Thomas, to run down the action here from Hangtown. We'll start with our highlights from the 250 class. Yamaha boys needed better starts to try to run with Hunter Lawrence on the 96 Honda this weekend after Hunter got the win at the opener. And the Yamaha riders definitely got the starts figured out. A lot of testing during the week.
Yeah, one of my keys to motos would be more aggressive. And Hayden Deegan, Justin Cooper, they came out hot. And Hayden Deegan started that train, and he got the whole shot, and he wouldn't let that go, Jason.
No, he had his teammate Justin Cooper right behind him, Jet Reynolds as well. And then this battle really heated up. You got Tom Viella gets bumped by Guillaume Perez, and then this is going to allow the 96 to get around. Yeah, that's Hunter Lawrence making the move. Go ahead.
Tom, yeah, makes a mistake, and he allows 88 makes a mistake and bumps into Tom, but then he goes down, and Hunter makes the pass on him, a little speed pass, I would like to say, and then kind of moves his way up to third place, which where he would stay at, but the battle was up front between teammates.
Yep. Cooper kept the heat on Deegan the whole way. 2 laps to go. Deegan found another gear, pulled away, and the 17-year-old in just his 4th Pro Motocross race ever wins the first moto. And there is Cooper taking 2nd ahead of Lawrence, who would take 3rd. And here's the big hug from his dad, Brian.
I know that's a special feeling for Dad and Hayden. That was a great feeling.
Awesome. So let's go to 250 Moto 2. This time not as good a start for Deegan, but just as good a start for Cooper.
Yeah, nice to see Justin Cooper back-to-back starts. He had the lead, had Hunter Lawrence up there. Even Jalek Swoll was there. So the race was on to see how Justin would end up. And then we had a nasty crash. Jeremy Martin, man, every time I see this, I cringe to myself. Going down up front, first time he was actually up front. And unfortunately, you could tell he was out.
Yeah, that wrist, that arm, he's done. And it might be a while before we see him back. I don't want to speculate too bad on what the injury is, but that was painful to watch. Then Hunter makes the move on Cooper to take the lead and begins to pull away. And just like he did last week, 3-1 moto scores get the overall. Jalek Swoll battling for a podium off the track.
Yeah, Jalek does above a scrub, almost takes out little Johnny. Welcome to motocross, up close and personal with these riders. But Jalek was in there, and then another battle. Hayden gets caught up in a lapper, takes out Joe, a hard hit from him. And unfortunately for Joe, that's kind of been the story of the season so far.
Yep, wrong place, wrong time, quite a bit for the number 30. Here is Deegan closing in on his rival, Chance Hymas. Hymas on the outside, Deegan to the inside.
Yeah, Chance makes a business decision, let Hayden goes by. It's like their last year in the Futures race, and Hayden was moving forward. Proud of the kid, go 1 with the 4th moto, but even a nice recovery route, bounce back route from the 18th place with Chance Hyman. But the man of the day, just like last weekend, was this guy.
Yep. It's all in control for the Lawrence brothers in both classes after he gets around Justin Cooper. He wins 2nd moto, and the 3-1 scores edge the 2-2 scores of Cooper. And Deegan digs out the podium despite the not as good start in the 2nd moto, and he is absolutely a title contender, as you'll see in the points in a little bit. Here are your overall results from today. Tom Viella, solid for 4th overall. Hampshire, Shimoda, Perez, Kitchen Swoll, DeFrancesco round out the top 10. All right, let's send it down to the podium with Jason Thomas.
Hunter Lawrence, that's 2 for 2. Tell us about how you had to manage intensity with a really tricky racetrack, because it looked like you could make a mistake very easily.
Yeah, absolutely. It was start was crucial. I knew I had to go. They laid a lot of water down, so I didn't want to be behind no one for much longer than that. Yeah, it's tough. First hot one of the year. They always a bit of a wake-up call, but no, happy to get out of here safe and healthy.
Congratulations, looked really strong.
All right, what are you thinking here? The 250 class has been really exciting to watch, but this guy keeps getting it done, and you see the point standings. It's impressive to see Hayden Deegan up there, but still Hunter Lawrence undefeated overall.
Yeah, Hunter is doing exactly what he needs to do, and I think this is more expected. I know for him and us, it's not a shock, but I love what I'm seeing from Hayden Deegan, even with Justin Cooper, how tough that I would say the first 2 races have been, managing the expectations coming in here with Justin Cooper. But look, he's only 12 points back, and he improved this weekend from last weekend, so we'll see if he can continue that trend next weekend.
Let's get a little bit deeper look at the Yamaha team here in just a moment. And that's really been the story the last couple of years, right? Lawrence brothers on Hondas versus an army of riders on Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing machines. I asked you during the motos, if you're Justin Cooper, you get passed and beat by Hunter Lawrence, how do you still try to not let that dent your confidence? How do you do it?
Well, I mean, we heard his interview on the podium. He was a little frustrated, but at the same time, he had 2 good starts. He figured that part out, so there's an improvement, and he ends up on the podium. And I think for him, it's just these races are continuing. Like, he'll get better and better. Unfortunately for him, that Hunter Lawrence is, I would still say, not quite a bit better, but he just looks more solid. But Justin Cooper, he's always got the speed, and if he can figure these starts out and get a little bit more confidence, we'll see if he can change that second place into first next weekend.
All right, yeah. So let's dive a little deeper in with that team. Show you the point standings, by the way. This is SMX points, and this will be combined with both motocross and supercross together. And how about that? Hunter Lawrence, a big points lead. That's not a surprise because he won a 250 supercross title already this year. But Hayden Deegan, the rookie, has been great indoors and out. He's 3rd in points, and you're going to figure this kid's going to just keep getting better and better as the year goes on. And let's get a little more info on Hayden and his team. Jason Thomas stopping by the Yamaha truck to talk to their team manager.
Jensen Hensler, team manager of the 250 side of Monster Yamaha Star Racing. We talked last weekend, and you guys were kind of searching a little bit for settings. You hadn't got your start grates in yet. This week, it looked like it had made a big difference. Justin Cooper gets out there and starts. Hayden Deegan with that first moto win. It really looked like you gained a bunch of momentum from whatever you guys had worked on this week.
Yeah, we did. We went back and we did probably 100 starts per guy. And first thing I landed Sunday, we went to the farm and we put all that stuff together. Thank God we had some guys back at the shop that could help out. And we're thankful for all the hard work they did because it obviously paid off. And we were able to do a lot of starts and perfect what we've been missing maybe. And obviously it paid off. So we're happy. On the podium, 2 guys. We'll keep fighting for that top spot for sure.
Yeah, talk about Hayden Deegan a little bit. You have to be so impressed with his progression. Just week after week, you can see him getting better both physically and mentally.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for a 17-year-old kid to come out here and do what he's doing is absolutely fantastic. And we couldn't be more happy with his progress. And, just watching him a year and a half ago to where he is today, it's incredible. So happy that he's, up there winning races, and we'll just look forward to the future. I think it's bright for sure.
Congratulations. We'll see you in Colorado.
Awesome. Thank you.
Nice overlook of the paddock as they begin to unpack here at Hangtown. That's our 250 class. We'll put a wrap on that, and we'll go to the 250, from the 250 division to the 450 division. Same story, a Lawrence brother out front. This time it is Jet after a dominant run, winning both motos last week. Fastest qualifier last week, fastest qualifier this week, and looking to keep it going in the first moto. He doesn't get the best start here, but somehow he's in the lead almost immediately.
Yeah, he's Dylan Ferrandis. We were talking about making a rookie uncomfortable, and he does for half a corner, and then Jet makes it. And this must have been that mistake he was talking about. It got a little wake-up call for him, but look, this kid's been doing a spectacular thing, and he's just seizing on the moment, and he knew he wanted to be in front of these guys. But hey, it was an improvement for all those guys outside of Jet Lawrence. He's been doing what he's doing, and I feel like besides the 96, it's an 18, and we're saying the same thing in this story. Jet Lawrence gets out front, makes everybody else have to rise to that occasion, but they can't, and he's able to ride off in the sunset.
Ferrandis is second early. Aaron Plessinger makes a move around his teammate here, Cooper Webb, to get into 3rd.
Yeah, AP was able to do something he wasn't last weekend, was actually get around Cooper without going down. And the race was kind of on. Like, I think those guys were going back and forth, and this is his last lap. AP trying to do everything. At one point, I'm telling you, he stopped and got tacos to figure out how to get back to what Dylan Ferrandis, but Dylan was putting his bike wherever AP was and was able to hold him off.
Yep, the whole race, Plessinger tried to get around him, couldn't figure it out. Meanwhile, another big win for Jet Lawrence on the 450, now 3-0. Undefeated on that bike, and there you see Plessinger right behind Ferrandis all the way to the checkered flag. So if you're Plessinger, you're like, if I could just be ahead of Ferrandis, I'd be in good shape. Ferrandis, another good start here. A huge pile up at the top of your screen on the outside, and also outside turn 2. Jet Lawrence, same move as Moto 1.
Yeah, we were watching because we had a different shot. We saw all these guys going down, and we're like, okay. Dylan had to lead.
Work to do, yeah.
And next thing you know, just like the other one, it's like, oh, he's in the front. So capitalizing, but whoa, this was scary for a lot of these guys. You can see these Hangtown. This is what happens when you get the short starts. You got a guy upside down like the toy motorcycles, but glad to see everybody get up and be all right. look like JS on the hay bale back in 2012. Some of these guys.
Not that bad, please, not that bad. But there's Jet gets in the early lead.
Yeah,
Yep.
Jet, and they put a lot of water down in between motos, so you can tell these guys are being really patient. And I felt at one point, once AP got around Cooper Webb, which that pesky old Cooper Webb was making it difficult for his teammate, AP was able to square him up, do a little scrub and get past him, and actually start making some time up on Jet for a few laps, and then he had an incident himself.
Yeah, so he finally solves Ferrandis, gets around his teammate, wants to make a run for the lead, and he's down.
Yeah, he's down. Looks like he just comes in. I'm expecting probably loses the rear end. The track was still slippery, but the problem was he broke his clutch lever off. And then so, as you know, all the motocross fans, this ain't an automatic motorcycle. It is hard to get going, but the man of the hour and the reason all that happens is because of this guy, Jason.
They're trying to solve the 18 of Jet Lawrence, who is now 4-0 in 4 starts in the 450 division. How long can he keep it going? Webb does hold off Ferrandis in that moto. Ferrandis ends up in 2nd overall, though, because he did have Webb by 2 positions in the first moto. Plessinger salvaged a 6th in that one. That allowed it to be a 4th overall. And Cincerello 5th. Masterful, Drake, Robin, Lecurcio, Boutrone. Privateers having a great run early in this season in the top 10. Let's go back to Jason Thomas.
Well, Jet Lawrence, I don't know if it's 2 for 2 or 4 for 4, but every time you've gone on the track so far, you've won. Tell us a little bit about the track conditions. Looked like a really tough day.
Yeah, the track was so brutal out there. The bike handle's amazing. Even that one made a handle not too friendly. But no, the track was difficult. You had to be really patient. You couldn't take too much. So, but no, I didn't eat enough before that second moto. I kind of lost energy halfway through. But luckily we could use technique and balance and just keep that flow going. But no, I got to thank the team behind me, my family, HRC Honda, Dr. G for keeping me company in the 250 moto because everyone's gone watching 250s. So, but no, thanks to the team, thanks to the crowd. You guys are awesome sticking out in the heat like this. So, I appreciate you guys also.
So I did notice about halfway through, AP was making a big run. He dropped his lap time down, and you responded. You went down to a 2:10. Were you kind of just managing that situation?
Yeah, on this track, you just got to manage. I mean, if you try and take too much and don't respect the track, it bites you pretty quickly. I had a little humbling on the one of the few first laps. I got kicked on that kind of after the start straight section. That tabletop going on the left, so had to kind of make sure I focused and just kicking off those laps because those boys were coming, especially Cooper on the end. He just didn't want to stay just there. So no, but it was a good day.
Great job.
Definitely was a great job, and its reward for that is a bulging early season lead. Geico Motorcycle will give you the point standings in 450 motocross. 18 points already for the 18 over Dylan Ferrandis, Cooper Webb, Aaron Plessinger, Cincerello. Same riders are sitting in the top 10 each weekend. Lecurcio, Boutrone, Sexton, even without racing this weekend, is 8th in points. Jerry Robin and Freddie Noren rounding out the top 10. Good job, Jerry, in the top 10 in points. So this is Jet hanging out back at the Honda truck after another good day. And the recovery begins for Colorado. There's Trey Kennard, former race winner in this series, now does a lot of the testing on the motorcycle for Honda. But I'll tell you what, James, he makes the whole team look good. He makes the motorcycle look good. I know they keep the atmosphere pretty fun and light over there. It's got to be fun to come to work with this kind of performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is why you always go racing all these guys. I mean, from Lars to even Trey Kennard. I mean, he has just as big a role in this and making Jet better as anyone else. I mean, he's out there testing. So a good feeling, but just how quickly things can change. You know, a few weeks ago, Chase Sexton was your Supercross champion, had a lot of momentum moving forward to outdoors, and how things switch in a couple weeks. So as Jet, he said he had a moment. Things can change really quickly, and for those guys like Cooper Webb and Dylan Ferrandis, they just got to continue to stay there. So it's only 2 races in. They got a lot left, but so far that guy looks good.
2 ways to look at this. Jet's actually tied the great Jeff Ward by starting 4-0 in his first year in this class, in this series. That's the good thing. But we've also seen riders start 4-0 and then not win the title sometimes. So you got to be careful, even in this championship. And then when you put it all together, these are the SMX points, combining Supercross and Motocross together. Look at Cooper Webb closing now on Chase Sexton, who did not race today. So things are changing in a hurry, James.
Yeah, who were you talking about?
4-0? I can't remember the
Who
name.
were you talking about? Were they going to Colorado?
Yeah, anything can happen in Colorado.
Those media people maybe going across the track?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Photographers, stay off the track.
Yes.
Those are SMX stats. Let's send it back to the KTM truck now and Jason Thomas.
That's right, I'm with Carlos Rivera, Red Bull KTM crew chief, and you have to be really pleased with the progress both of your guys showed today. Tell us a little bit about the heartbreak from Aaron Plessinger. He was riding so well, and then a silly mistake kind of ruined the result of what could have been.
Yeah, man, it's a bummer. He was actually riding, like you said, really strong, moving forward, and then a tip over there, and then broke his clutch lever. So fortunately, it took a little time for him to start the bike, and you know, as a rider, you know how it is. It's hard to start a bike without a clutch. And he remounted, got back, and finished solid 4th place overall, you know. For the hand, Cooper rode really well. As a veteran, smart. Did his 2 motos, be consistent, and end up in the 3rd place in the podium.
I also wanted to ask you about Tom Vial. It's, you know, his 2nd pro motocross race in America. He doesn't really know any of these tracks, but you see him getting better and better and better and finding the pace, being more comfortable. What are the little things you think, you know, could take him to that next level? Because I think that's a lot of the things you get to work on, right? You get to work with your riders a little bit more closely and help them progress.
No, for sure. Tom, you know, is very different from Europe to here. The pace is faster. A lot of guys, as you can see, top 5, they're going at it. And he's learning, but he's a very smart guy. He's coming forward. Every week he learns. He's started figuring out things out, and I expect to see a good result coming up.
Well, congrats. You guys look great, and we'll see you next weekend.
Thank you.
And we love it. You saw Jed Lawrence hanging out of the Honda truck. The fans found him. He's going to be taking pictures and signing autographs. Love how they get up close and personal in this series.
Yeah, they get really up close and personal. I mean, your favorite guys, you come out to a motocross race and get to meet Jet Lawrence or possibly get ran over by Jalek Swoll. That's
close.
All these different things. These guys are professional, but I remember this, and it's a special feeling. You know, and that's what's cool about coming here. These guys just went out 30-plus minute motos, and they're out here hanging out with the fans. We understand how important they are, the fans, and you know, that's why you show up at these races to get this opportunity.
That's right, yeah. We try to give you all the coverage we can, but there's nothing quite like coming here. But if you can't, catch all our midweek programming. Title 24, that's Ryan Villapoto and Ricky Carmichael breaking down the action. Bubba's World with James Stewart. I recommend it. I don't know what you think of it, but I like listening to it. And this other show with myself and Jason Thomas and our statistician Clinton Feller, that's SMX Insider, up on Thursdays. Check them all out on YouTube or where you get your podcast. All right, James, going to wrap this up. Look, it's Lawrence Brothers. It's Lawrence Brothers all the way. I just want to compare tracks. Let's just talk about that. 2 California tracks, go to Colorado. What's the key when we go race Thunder Valley?
Well, I mean, I think these guys are – this was a big test for a lot of these guys. I mean, it's the first race of the year that's been hot. I mean, Supercross, Motocross. So I think they got past that. Thunder Valley is another difficult track. You know, you're up in elevation. And so the 250 class is going to be really important to get started. So I see, you know, starts with Hayden Deegan, see if he continues to go. And then with the 450 class, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. Like, you're going to have to come watch my podcast. I'm going to have to talk about this guy that went 4-0 and then went. So we'll talk about that. But, I mean, it's this kid's answering every test that's been thrown at him. So we'll find out next week.
Oh, you are going to talk about the guys that have gone 4-0 and didn't get it there? You can talk about that?
Brought it up.
Bad memories from 2012 for James. Here's how you get your coverage. 100% bringing us our coverage of our next race and our schedule. We'll have race day live at noon Eastern on Peacock, presented by motorsport.com. And then our motos start at 3 Eastern and be on the air for 4.5 hours live, Peacock, and also the SuperMotocross Video Pass if you're outside the U.S. And we'll have a re-air on television as well. All right, well, it started with a big show at the beginning of the day and the Lawrence show throughout the day as Hunter wins the 250s and Chet wins in the 450s. Congrats to the Australians. For James Stewart and Jason Thomas, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching your SMX Insider post-race show. Join us next weekend, Colorado.
Colorado